Hey, folks, welcome to the American Go eJournal's live coverage at the U.S. Open of the Masters Tournament. I'm Chris Garlock, joined with Devin Frey. Good morning, Devin.
Good morning,
Shouldn't you be
Chris.
playing a tournament game or something?
Yeah, I'm supposed to be, but if viewers who are just watching, the tournament hall is a bit of a madhouse, so I don't think I'm missing anything at the moment. Yeah,
Round one jitters, right?
that's how it always goes, But the Masters have started playing, of course, so we'll be able to see.
Should I turn my phone down?
Yeah, well, viewers can listen to us twice. That's twice the benefit.
Or half the benefit. Anyway, so a couple things we should talk about. One is that we will be here every morning.
That's
you
right.
can set your alarm 9:30. Actually, 9 o'clock, we will be starting the stream for the top boards.
Right.
We will always have the top three boards of the Masters, which I think is probably the AGA's biggest top tournament. I forget. Do you know what the prize purse is? It's
This year,
thousands of dollars.
Yeah, it might even be 10. I mean, we always do a lot, and that often brings in some strong players that might otherwise, stay at home. Obviously, you can get lots of great games online, but we have incredible competition here. So the prize pool brings them out, and I think the players too. Some rivalries going on. I know some of the people in that room. Personally, and they're excited to try and one up each other. So it's always
you should
fun.
have seen this morning. I was there when the game recorders were setting up, and people kind of coming in, checking each other out.
Yeah.
Haven't seen each other in a year, and sort of definitely some rivalries. We'll probably talk about that. There will be actually just to run through the schedule for the day. So this is our pre-show.
Right.
And then at 10, we'll start with the professional commentary. And we will have Stephanie Yin will be kicking us off.
That's right.
We're excited about that.
Many of you know her with the New York Institute to Go. Her and her husband Ryan Lee make great content. So
speaking of Ryan, we have a treat today.
Oh,
we have a bonus
right.
round. So stay tuned. 1 o'clock this afternoon. Ryan will be playing. Help me out here.
Kim, Ji-Seok Kim.
Nicely done, sir.
They bring me in the room for something, yeah.
Yeah, I believe Ji-Seok challenged Ryan. I don't know how exactly that happened, or maybe it was the other way around.
It might. It's it was a bit of a friendly competition match, but
I don't know.
But somebody threw down the gloves. Exactly, yeah. And from my perspective, obviously, Ji-Seok is really high level professional. High level professional. But Ryan has held his own against those types, so it's not going to be an obvious blowout.
No.
So that's going to be really exciting.
1 o'clock right here. That's
Eastern
time. A busy day for us.
Yeah. I mean, first day, obviously we're figuring out all the stuff on our back end as well, but to get to do two broadcasts, that's even better.
That's how we roll.
Yeah.
literally, as I was just turning in last night after the whole day setting up for this, I get this email and they're like, "Oh, we're doing a special broadcast." I'm like, "Oh, are we?
We are? Sure, yeah.
Okay, I'll let the guys know." But so 1 o'clock. So 10 o'clock, Stephanie will be here. And we have
guest
commentators.
Kat Mai today. Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about Kat.
Kat's
new commentator for us.
New commentator, longtime Go Congress attendee. Not ultra long time, but we like to bring in people from the Congress that think will be exciting talent and stuff like that. So Kat very kindly volunteered, and we'll have her on later.
And also an old friend, Sol Smilak, I believe, is going to join us as well.
Yep, Solomon Smilak, my friend and business partner with the Go store. So
You're tearing him away from the store. So
that's right. I got to get the whip back out and afterward make sure he's setting up that stuff.
I texted him to set this up, and he didn't. I changed phone numbers, and he's like, "Who is this? What am I agreeing to?"
Yeah. Hey, are you free? Well, who's asking?
Sure. So we'll do that. So we'll have a live pro commentary from 10 to 12. And then we will have our post show. And maybe at that time we can get a little into some of the players that we have this year.
Right.
That would be cool.
Right. And I think we'll see some of that evolve over time. The top three boards, likely going to be rotating in and out of some of the people, and we can talk about those personalities. Some, we covered last year. It'll be kind of exciting to see what happens again with them this year. Stay tuned.
Obviously, the person to watch is Han Han.
Yeah.
Right.
Hanan,
Kent tore up the field last year.
tore up the field, stirred the pot, all the above. So yeah, it's gonna be exciting to see him again.
He is a tough competitor. This is, as Devin said, this is a tough field. There's not anybody in that room that I would not be terrified to face.
Well,
they
and
are really good.
Exactly right. If people don't know how it works, it's invitation only. So you have to get permission from the TD of the Masters to play in there. Even if you're a high-ranking player, it doesn't necessarily guarantee that you'll be in there.
No. But Han is
Well,
just a very cool customer. And I'm
Right.
trying to remember, most of his games, I think, were resignations, if I'm remembering right, from last year.
Yeah, not all of them, but he would cause blowouts.
I think there was
he wasn't.
one that was, and I'm trying to remember, I think it was the 4th or 5th round. That was that game could have gone either way. But other than that, he really, so we'll see, because people will have studied his games.
And it's interesting because I didn't really know Han before last year.
None of us did.
But he was this pro in the U.S. and then all of a sudden, boom, he's just knocking the players out. And it's like, okay, well, I guess we should get to know him. Yeah.
Well, it's kind of been like that with it. We've been covering this for the E-Journal for many, many years, and it always seems like it's almost like somebody will have a run. I remember back in the 90s, Jay Lee had a run of, I want to say 6 or 7, when he was just beating everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Got married, had a family, priorities changed.
Right.
Eric Louis had a run. So it's interesting. So right now, Han's the guy, but we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
True. Got Go Dave in the chat. I noticed you're mentioning 3:30 p.m. Maybe your time zone's different. Definitely 1 p.m. for that pro match, unless you're referencing something else. So,
and we should say we are here in Kent, Ohio, which I just found out is in the Eastern time zone. I thought somehow we had slid over into Central, but I guess we're not quite there.
Compared to New York, Boston, we might as well be in the middle.
Once I'm in Ohio,
Texas or something. Who knows? But
Kent, I have to say, my first time in Kent, Ohio. Nice town.
Yeah. It's beautiful out here.
It's not Cleveland. I feel a little bit bait and switch, because if folks check out the Cleveland Go Congress, is actually not in Cleveland. Maybe we can get the Congress director in there to do some splaining.
Well, I know a little bit about it, right? But we should bring him on. That'd be great.
I will get Steve. And apparently, there's a co-director who didn't realize it was a co-director until he was like, "This is how we do."
He's a bit of a comedian, literally. But
I think so, right?
Yeah. So he was well aware. Yeah. So
okay, all right.
But we have some great team this year of volunteers. A lot of people working ultra hard. I mean, anyone that's been to a Congress knows, just how much time and effort it takes to put one of these things on. But yeah, it's relatively going really well. I mean, the meals are great. The dorms here are actually some of the nicer dorms. I mean, we were talking about that earlier.
I have been hearing nothing but compliments for the facilities, the food, and we should say, if you are in the area, basically within 10, 12 hours of Kent, just drop on in.
Sure.
You probably can't play in the tournament at this point, but I think we welcome folks to drop on by.
Right. And the community here is, in my mind, the real treasure. I can play games at my Go Club, but I think the community is special. So Go Dave, looking forward to his Congress. Yeah, the European Congress is happening here soon as well.
Oh, where is it this year?
This year, I believe in Germany. That's right.
Nice.
Next year will be France. They've been advertising hard for the French one, but the German Congress looks really nice as well. So, yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Got to get back. I haven't been in way too long. So
2
weeks.
2 weeks. 2 weeks. Well, and finally, we don't overlap. I think one of the things that's happened in the past has been a little bit of a problem for people that maybe were able to go to both. They couldn't go to both. So luckily, we don't overlap this year. I'm sure we'll get some crossover. And hopefully that kind of trend continues. But we are a little bit earlier this year, aren't we?
A lot earlier. Normally, we're not until the first week of August, and this week, that time we're basically close to the first week. How are we?
3 minutes away, it looks
3
like.
minutes?
Okay. I should get a clock on that TV.
We do. We need a clock right there so we can see, actually.
We got a cool setup, though, this year. We have...
Talk about that, because who set that? Oh, you set that up.
Hey, was that?
Nice work, bro.
That's right. Thank you. Well, I've been playing around with broadcasting. Some people maybe watched some of the Badu Club broadcasting we did with the Pro Qual last year, the Pokemon
Which we'll be doing again.
Tournament. Yeah, we'll do the Pro Qual broadcast again.
Second week in August.
That's correct. Exactly. Second week in August. That'll be happening in San Francisco this year. Should be, again, really exciting. A lot of really strong players coming out for that. And only choosing one pro this year instead of 2 last year. Did some coverage for we've been creating some tournaments as well. And one of my things is how do we cover more tournaments? This is not a new idea. Chris has talked to me about this for years. I mean, this
I
is
started,
the
but
obvious.
you guys, you and Eva D have taken it.
Well, thank you.
I mean, this was the idea,
Right.
but I didn't think we'd get here this way.
Execution.
You guys deserve a huge amount of credit for that.
Well, thanks. It's been fun doing it. So
Well, the viewers like it, so it's all for the viewers.
that's right. It's for you guys. So.
Seriously. A couple of things I do want to say was, as usual, do go ahead and use the chat, which you're doing much better at paying attention to than I am. But I know that during the commentaries, we're definitely going to try and react to that, questions and comments and so forth.
Yep.
Anything else logistic-wise that people need to know out there before we wrap up this pre-show?
No, I mean, essentially, you guys get the easy job. You just enjoy. The one thing I'll say though is share with your friends. I mean, this is more fun together. And again, we have some great games. So it's worth watching, especially as we get in the later rounds. We're gonna have some real drama here. Axel, hopping in the chat. Hey there, Axel. So yeah, come join us, and we'll bring you in to the Congress. We're your behind the scenes look, and again, we're gonna have some strong pros here. Telling you guys all about what's happening, the action on the board. So it's really...
We should mention, actually, one of the changes we've made this year. Normally, we have sort of a rotating cast of pros because the Congress is awash in pros, which is a good thing.
Right.
But we've really focused in. We have just 3 pros that we'll be working with this year. Stephanie and, of course, Atu Surma.
The Europeans out there.
A lot of fans out there. And then another crowd pleaser.
Inxiang Huang.
Oh yeah. Can't wait.
He's
pretty entertaining.
We're stealing him away because I mean everyone at the Congress too loves his lectures and stuff like that.
He's a hard get.
He's a hard get. We got him for you.
We got him.
Be thankful. Just kidding.
So yeah, no, seriously. So we've got a really and as I said, we've got some guest hosts that we're really excited about.
Yeah.
So I think so. Let us know though, because each year we try and do things a little bit better. We're trying to be a little bit more efficient this year,
right?
So that we don't end up at the end of the week totally wiped out.
Exactly. We respond to you guys, so definitely in chat or reach out to your email, journal@USGO. We'll go to him. We'll read feedback and stuff like that. So.
Right, and also we have a new website. AGA has a new website thanks to Guruji, our new president. Really did the heavy lifting on that. I did the last website redesign many moons ago, and it was such a huge amount of work that I was like, Guruji, you want to do it? Go for it. And let us know what you think. I think it looks a lot better. I think there's a lot of really good functionality. We had to lose some things, but I haven't heard problems with that, but we'd love to know. One of the things, though, is that we do have this feed right on the homepage now, which is new. And Guruji really pushed for that.
Right.
That was his idea. So
there's a central place, usgo.org. You can check out the feed. Obviously, many of you watching here might already just be on YouTube, but it's an easy share. So that's a good way to do it.
The other cool thing is that normally when we were doing on Twitch, we then had to port over to YouTube. This time we're starting on YouTube, and we'll just have them all. We're going to have them in a special place where people can find them.
Yeah, we'll have a playlist. We'll make a playlist on YouTube. People can find it, and but at the moment it'll just be in the live tab. So that's how you can navigate there. You can see past live broadcasts on YouTube, and then what just occurred to me.
He just had it just like
right. He went in and then went out, and it's
the thing I was going to mention was that seriously, if you are within driving distance and want to drop by, one of the really cool. There's a bunch of cool things. One is they're doing the handicap. You want to talk a little bit about the handicap? They're still calling it the self-paired.
Oh, for you mean on Wednesday?
Well, that's the Die Hard.
Okay. Oh, the self-paired.
The self-paired. And I assumed that there were self-paired games already starting yesterday. I saw a bunch of people.
That's right.
Playing.
5 p.m. They opened up self-pair. And I've been in conversation with the TD there. You can get some self-pair games, report that slip. That's one thing I think anybody showing up could do. And anyone in the Congress is going to be happy to get some games in. So that's a great example.
You just get some nice, and they're nice because they're rated.
Correct.
And I think they have to be a certain amount of time, at least half an hour.
Half an hour with 5 by 30 is one of the minimums. There's a couple different time settings, but essentially it's going to be your standard kind of lower, faster time settings. So it's not going to take your whole evening, but it's definitely you can get some good games in.
them nice, serious games, and just ask people. And it's just, I know some people that just play self-paired. I mean, they just
Sure.
sit there and play all these. And you get, I mean, because you're surrounded by Go players, hundreds of Go players, which
That-
is pretty cool.
That's my favorite part about Congress, right? It's almost like an alternate reality where everyone's Go players.
This is the reality. Everything else is alternate,
That's-
Devin.
good point, good point.
You are in reality now for this week.
I love that perspective.
Right?
That's great. Yeah. And then, and for people, a lot of people care about the rating points. I met one gentleman actually currently rated 11Q. His plan is to try and play the most self-paired games so that he can rank up. He's hoping he's going to win them too.
There's a bunch of different prizes. They gave them all kind of different names, but I just know them by there's the Q player who plays and beats Don players.
Yes.
Which I think is called the Don Killer.
The Don
or it might
Killer.
be called the Keith Arnold now. I can't, or maybe
Oh, no,
it's the
that's
other way around.
around.
the other way
Yeah.
around. So that one is the one.
Keith Arnold's the classic Q killer, Don player who gets the most Q wins. So
And if we're talking about Keith, we should mention.
the Lightning? Or-
Yes.
Yes, that's right. If for those that are here watching this in the post, you definitely got time for the Lightning tournament. That's really exciting. 10-minute absolute sudden death. And what day is that? Do you know off the top of your head?
I want to say Tuesday. Oh, but
It's
actually, this
historically
is
Tuesday,
what you
so-
can do. There is an app again this
So
year, YAP, YAPP. Go, and I believe the code is, and even you tell me if I'm wrong, is it Go Congress 23?
That's right.
It's Go Congress 23.
Yeah.
I remember something.
I remember you
I
did
haven't
it.
even had my tea yet. Yeah, so no, but even if you're not here, I would go ahead and get that because there's, for one thing, we have our own little social media feed within that,
Mhm.
which is really cool. So people post all kinds of photos. Is there standings in YAP? Or
Not
is
that one. Standings will
separate?
be on Lego,
We'll talk about that in a
Lego.gg.
sec. Anyway, lots of cool stuff. So you do not have to be here at the Congress to do YAP.
Mhm.
So check that out. And then let's talk about Lego because
Yeah.
that's new.
That's new. So Nick Prince from
Yay,
the
Nick.
Canadian Go Association has built a very kind of powerful tool for pairings, and they've used it before in different tournaments. People, I think, who were at the Spectacular may remember that they had the Lego there, and so that'll be Lego.gg. You can find the standings for the tournament there, and also the pairings as well prior to the standings.
And
So
I
whenever those get published.
hear, and Todd can correct me on this, but I believe that Nick is also adding the ability for players to then also add their game records.
That's right. Yeah. So in the past, we've done crosstabs, which has been
More crosstabs.
it's been great,
It's
but
great.
it's
A lot of work.
a lot of work on our end, which is not as fun. So, but this
You can complain a little bit.
yeah. Well, they tell you to do something to get it done,
Well,
but
part of the problem, but seriously, part of the problem with the crosstabs was that every year we had to do them and they were in different places.
Right.
And I think one of the things about Lego is that finally,
in the same place
one-
where you're
one-
getting your game paired,
Right.
you can upload your SGF. So that'll be huge.
yeah.
There's other software out there that can do similar things, but that kind of stuff is what how do we make Go players' lives easier, right? And that's what we always want to do. So as organizers, we don't have to worry about doing that.
We have our own set of things. But one of the things too, though, is I know a lot of people are tracking, friends of yours who are here. That might be our pro, I bet.
Oh yeah,
But you're tracking friends who are here playing, right? And
Right.
so, and that's always been really hard.
Right.
And so now, if Lego works as
as advertised, and
advertised,
you
then
can follow your
you can
friends.
follow your friends,
Right.
which is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
he's-
I mean, with over 300 people here, we're going to have probably someone potentially. A lot of you probably already know if your friends are here. So yeah, look them up, follow along, see how they're doing standings wise. Maybe even look at their games. I mean, that's a great way to participate from afar. So we'll do our best to give you the feeling and the coverage, but you don't have to just rely on us. And actually, that reminds me, this is what happened to my.
All right, I was just talking until you remembered what it was. that
He
you
did it. He knew what to do. This is the pro right here. This is Streaming Pro.
Off the board.
Off the board, yeah. But we have all the games for the Masters will live on the US Go OGS account. So if you
That's right. That's right.
if you go to OGS, exactly. See?
Another
See?
Devin idea. So clever. Wait. So last year, if you had to try, it was hell trying to find these games.
Right.
They were just scattered all over the place.
Right, we had US Go 1, 2, 3, 4.
It was a mess.
And then
And it was my fault because we were using the same naming protocols that we inherited when we used to do this on KGS, which made sense when we were on KGS.
Exactly.
We love KGS, but now we're on OGS, different things.
Right.
So They haven't solved it.
This year, just on one account, US Go. Luckily, we have all our game recorders. OGS is, a great tool, and they can all use the same account to record the games. That means all of them can live there. If you want to see what happened in the Masters, obviously we can't cover all 3 games simultaneously, so you can find the rest of them just on that main US Go account in the demo section. So go to the profile of US Go, USGO, and then you scroll down and you can find the games. So that's a great way to kibitz to your heart's content, in the game. But don't leave here. Kibitz here as well. And, maybe we'll debate you guys or something. Say something silly. It's fine. It's
I'm
good.
seeing that Eva D is doing great here. We pushed the cat. Oh, yeah, the games have to develop further. Okay, that sounds like Stephanie there. Also, Pokemon.
Oh, so he was talking about, we had Go Dave as a commentator
Okay.
on one of our special events with Buddy
Okay.
Club. So we did a Pokemon Go tournament. Kind of people love Pokemon, right?
Right.
The players got to pick their favorite Pokemon, and we did some good commentary around
Nice.
that. Yeah, it's been fun. We did a Samurai one as well. Players chose their Bushido code things like honor and
It's like
honesty.
way too cool.
Oh, it's
This is not your.
very
This is
fun.
not your father's Go.
This is not your father's Go. We actually had we did a fun little video beforehand. I had someone comment on the video that they're like, I don't even play Go, but this looks so cool. I'm going to tune in, and that's what I want. That's what I'm trying to do, is how do we get this great game out in the world?
So maybe my idea is not so crazy. So people
Oh,
will
tell
know
me.
that I've been into tennis for a long time.
Yeah.
And then last year, I'm still playing tennis, but I'm also playing pickleball because it's most popular. It's the fastest growing game. Anyway, it's easy, it's fun. So we're now, and people know that I always do tennis. I'm also adding pickleball this year. But I was thinking that I think they did this in chess for a while. I don't know if they still do it, where you'd have a round. They were doing chess boxing.
I love that.
Right?
So like pickleball
Go.
That
Right?
is so fun.
Would that be cool?
Yeah. Well, and you'd be running around, sweating. You're physically starting to exhaust yourself, and then play a Go game. That's
See, I think it would really work with pickleball because pickleball games are short.
Right.
So you play a game, and then and one of the great things is then you just sit out for a game.
Right.
That other people learn. So you'd sit out, have a quick, maybe 13 by 13.
Sure. Yeah.
Or a speed Go and a full board.
sure.
Like
Yeah.
5 minutes per player or something.
Well, and I think even for the chess boxing, you don't get a full match in. They give you, I think, a few minutes of play, and then they move you back over to the boxing, kind of rotating between. But yeah, you could either do some blitz games, or you have a continuous game, probably still fast time settings.
Yeah, I think the blitz, because you really want to get in there and just like
Right.
sudden death,
Yeah,
boom,
that's the exciting stuff.
and be done.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Let us know what you think. But I'm just trying to get some. I love Go, but the one thing about the game is there's no
Where's the action?
exercise in it.
Was it? Oh, that's
Seriously, I was in there in the strong players room, right? And I was like going to video it. It's like, it doesn't matter if I take video or still pictures. Like, they're just
right.
sitting there.
But does that
If I
matter?
go in there right now, they're just sitting there.
Yeah, that's
Right.
it's a video picture. You're gonna
I
get
tried to
the
get
same.
him to do calisthenics this morning because in pickleball and tennis we have to warm up.
Right.
And the guys looked at me like I was out of my freaking mind. Like, we are not doing that.
I got a question from Axel
A
here.
question.
What are the time settings for Congress?
That is a really good question. Does anybody know? Eva D doesn't. D
I think I
doesn't
know off the
that.
top of
You
my
do?
head,
Or You
yeah.
could just make it. Actually, you're playing in the open,
Right.
so you should know this.
It was an hour and a half.
Hour and a half.
For
Wow, that's a long
each
time.
player. Yeah. It's well.
Do you use all your time?
Oh man, I'm the worst at that. Yeah. I used to run the youth room, and I would almost show up late to my job running the youth room in the afternoon because I was so, just taking so long on the
Do
time
you like
board.
think about your moves?
Yeah,
How'd
I
that work, how'd that
actually
work
think
out
about
for
my
you?
Not always so well, Sometimes it doesn't matter how much time you have. But long time settings. So it's a great. You really get to take your time, ponder your game, and you can use it however you want. I mean, sometimes too, I'll show up right before the game starts. Maybe my breakfast took a little longer than I wanted, or I slept in, and I play my move, and I'm like, okay, I need a coffee, or I need to use the restroom. Like, that's your time. That's your time. As long as you're here for the match, you can take a breather. Yeah, stretch your legs, maybe get a little bit of
Run
movement
around a
in.
little
Could
bit.
be healthy for you.
I will tell you. Actually, I was just remembering. So we had to set up the game recorders, and we help out. So everybody, and at 9:00, Kevin Chow, the TD, is like, all right, everybody sit down, take your seats, because the top players, that's a different section. So I don't know. I can't see the feed. Have they started the round yet?
Yeah, so we
For
got
the
a
U.S.
cou-
Open.
Oh,
Just because he
the
needs
feed.
to know, but.
That's okay.
Anyway, the top players there and the Masters, they are there because the clocks are going to start.
Right.
But But I'm thinking,
The Open still hasn't started.
Board
there you
one,
go.
Some announcement right now.
board one, no players on board one.
Oh, really?
0 players on board. Poor Ginger sitting there. He's like, he's all ready to go. He's all, no players. Han finally shows up, kind of rolls in 5 minutes late,
Yeah.
Because Kevin was telling everybody, I think you get 5 minutes and then start the clock and then have 10, I think it's 10 minutes. to
Well,
forfeit.
and I know we have one no show over there who forfeited, so we have one win
No,
already.
who
Yeah,
forfeited?
yeah. I believe it's
Just like a no show.
well, no
That is
show in the room. No
surprising.
show in the room. Well, in
That
the
is
Masters, it's very surprising. Yeah, and
I,
Kevin RTD was not lenient. I was telling his opponent, oh, maybe I'll go find him. And then a few minutes later, he's like, no need to find him. Kevin put the axe down. If you don't show up for the Masters, I mean, yeah. then
that's the money tournament right
that's right.
there.
Yeah. So it's
Wow,
unfortunate
I don't
for
think
that.
I've ever seen that.
That is more rare. Usually, if you're in the Masters,
Certainly not
you're in
early.
the Masters.
Not early. I mean, maybe in the later rounds, if you're losing, somebody might
Yeah.
blow up a round. Even that's pretty rare, to be honest.
Right.
I've never seen in round one. But you're saying that they're here on campus and they just didn't show?
Yes, that's
Wow, because I know that
Correct.
there was a Canadian player who had trouble.
yes.
but I don't think that was a Masters player.
He's certainly strong enough to be a Masters player, but I'm not sure if he's registered for the Masters because he would have had to arrive here on
So
time.
that wasn't the person who got
no,
it.
that wasn't
Okay.
the person. Right.
Interesting little drama already.
Yeah. Well, we're serious here. Yeah, in the
Okay.
Masters room.
I did not know that.
Well, and also it's to your point about the Hana trip a little bit late. In the broadcast room here, Eva D and I were like thinking, okay, what's wrong with the boards? They're not refreshing. No games are happening.
I know.
So the round started, and then I walk into the playing hall, and only the top 3 boards are all late. Everyone else has begun playing. I'm like,
Oh, yeah. That's what
okay,
I'm saying. That's
sure.
what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
you guys.
Well, I think Eric was a little bit late too.
And not,
actually.
nothing crucial, but yeah, just a little, like, a couple minutes. But broadcast wise, we're like, did we break something? What's happening?
Well, sometimes I'm not going to name any names, but there's a little stuff that goes on. I've seen players that will come in purposely. They're there.
Oh,
They do not come in until time.
sure. Yeah.
Some folks are there 20 minutes early. They're
Right.
talking, they're schmoozing.
Right.
I took a picture. Actually, you could check our Twitter feed because I forget what board it was, but there's a bunch of the top players and they're studying life and death. I'm like, dudes, I mean, if you don't know this life and death by now, but I was impressed. That's what these are top players, and that's what
Maybe
they're-
that's how you become top
that's what-
player.
that's what they said.
You and I before the game, we're like, yeah, whatever.
it's
and
not going to help us.
then-
No, but that's what they said. That's it. This is exactly the time to study your life and death. That's like, okay, duly noted.
Julie, no.
But there are other players because there is kind of a whole camaraderie. Many of these players have known each other for many years. Actually, some of them since they were kids have come up together, right? They know
Right.
each other. Some of these folks, particularly the top boards, they will wait until like 2 minutes before
Yeah.
time and then just roll in because they know they're on board 1, 2, 3.
Right.
Just
Right.
roll in.
Sit down, be serious. But it's all about the mental game, right? So you show up and you're frazzled, you're not going to play so well. So if you want to take that time outside that room, mentally prep, get in, you sit down, no nonsense.
No nonsense.
That's great.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep. And I think, and I could be wrong in this, but I'm pretty sure the time they might have 2 hours in the Masters.
The Masters is typically a little bit longer than the Open.
Yeah, I
so
wouldn't
yeah,
swear
my
to
time
that.
that I'm
I'm
giving
not
to the
sure about
Open.
that.
I know this year too. Some years we'll do evening rounds, but the Masters players kind of revolted a little bit. They're saying, "Hey, listen, we're here to play, but we're also, we have lives, we have friends." Yeah.
Can I just say from the e-journal's perspective,
Oh.
because these days
Hallelujah.
we would have the Open or the Masters in the morning, and those games would often go right through lunch.
Yeah.
Those games would go until like 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and then they'd come back, as you say, in the evening. So 7, and those games could go to 11 or 12. 11. I think usually like 11 o'clock. And the players in the Masters revolted because the thing is, they're playing, and these are serious games, they're money games, but you have to play that game. You're playing until 11 o'clock at night, and then you got to get up the next morning
Right.
and play another game.
Right.
So I supported that. I remember the meeting where they really raised hell about it. It
Yeah.
was just they felt, and I think it was a legitimate complaint that they felt they were not able to do their best
Right.
playing. It was just too much. And so from the user's perspective, because we have to cover whatever.
Right.
These were very, very long days. We could see the toll it was taking.
I don't know
on
about
the
you. I like
players.
sleeping too. So sometimes
it's overrated.
that's
but
overrated. Yeah. Sorry. To be clear, actually, Chris, I'm now thinking about Chris is the party animal now.
I tell you what, we wrapped it. They kicked us out of here at.
That's
did
true.
you hear that at 10:45? it's the Kent State Student Center is 10:45. Get your asses out of
Yeah,
here.
yeah. 15 minutes to evacuate the building. Or
I wasn't
whatever.
sure what they were going to come around and be checking the rooms or anything.
They definitely had staff walking around doing some cleaning and such. But yeah, how do you know, right? What if we just hole up in here,
But
broadcast
the
all night?
bars are open till 2.
Oh, there you go.
Just saying.
So you can keep going, keep that party going.
Absolutely.
Axel mentioning he walks around. Yeah, when I'm playing, I like to get up and
one of those
if I have enough
wanderers? You like
I'm
to
a
wander
walker.
around?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and also sometimes I get some photos of my friends, right? Posted on the in the app or share with EJ, stuff like that. But I don't like to look at the other games. Some people I notice like
Somebody
study.
here was saying that they like to study Axel.
Oh, yeah.
To see what they're playing.
See what they're playing. Yeah,
That would just mess me up.
right. That's me too. I'm like,
I'll be like, let me change my whole plan
oh,
because
hey,
that move looks good.
what a good idea. I wish I was that guy. No, I get sucked in. Yeah, I want to keep my game in my head, but I want also sometimes need a break. Yeah, that's
One of my favorite things, actually, when we get done doing this, I'll go down with you and
Sure.
I go around. I just take a bunch of photos so I can tweet them out so folks can see what's going on. But I also go around and check on people like EJ team people
Right.
who are playing.
Right.
Longtime friends who are playing just to see. And that way, because I can tell you later, that move there, that was totally. Why didn't you play this other move? Because I'm much stronger when I'm not playing.
yeah, two
Oh,
stones.
at least, maybe 3.
Maybe 3.
It's so much easier to see when you're not playing.
Take your ego out of it. That's some of our players here, they've mastered that from the perspective of while they're playing, and that's I think what makes them so good in that room is they can take their ego out and really. Be
If you can just be in the game,
Right.
but not emotionally.
right.
Yeah.
I
Very
will
hard.
say it makes for some better content. We see the players they're they're going for some grand goal and like maybe it's they felt disrespected by that first move or something and then something crazy happens. That can be fun, but I think certainly some of the top games aren't going to look like that, right? We're going to get some
biggest mistake that I see when I'm just going around looking, especially at the Open, rich players picking fights. Right, people who are because I'm looking and I'm counting. I'm like, this person is like 25 points up,
right,
and they're starting a fight. I'm like, that's a good time to start a fight
it's
while you're ahead.
Exactly the kind of stuff.
Now, that's later. What happened? Oh, I lost. Really?
Really? Well, actually, I've been trying to change my play recently because I am exactly this. I'm a fighter, and somewhat I was a fighter to a fault. So,
fighting is fun. Let's be honest.
Fighting is fun. We
fun.
all enjoy it.
Yeah.
Not so much if we're ahead and we're being chased, but it's fun. Exactly.
Well,
and then,
it's one thing if you're behind, that's a good time to fight.
That's when you want to fight.
Yeah.
Exactly. But I'm doing the exact inverse, right? I'm fighting when I'm ahead just because I want to fight. So I'm kind of trying to think now, hey, let me count. I'm strong enough. I can count.
Count? Really?
To the score. Like 1, 2, 3. And then just say, hey, listen, like, even if I'm up by 10, like, let me just play for that goal, make some estimates on the board, and just play a calmer style. And hopefully that was advice I got from Instrong last year, actually. We were at the pro dinner, and he turns to me and says, whatever your style is, doesn't matter if you're calm or a fighter, just try to play the different style, and you're going to grow as a player. And so I think that's advice we can give to anyone watching is whatever your style is, and this is not coming from me, this is coming from a stronger player, great teacher who actually knows what they're saying, kind of identify your style and try to change it up because you'll find more avenues of growth. We all get stuck in a rut. I know, a lot of people feel the plateaus as they climb the ladder.
Mm-hmm.
And one way to get out of that is to change up how you play. So I'm going for the calm.
It could be something different like that, or a different opening, a completely different
opening. Right. If you're a weaker player, you start to learn some new openings. Kind of get some new stuff in there. And oftentimes, maybe this happens for you when you learn a new thing. I get worse for a little bit because I'm
all the time.
It's new, so I don't know what I'm doing yet. But that still brings me to that new level.
I made sushi for the first time. Lisa, my wife and I made sushi for the first time. I tell you, it was the ugliest damn sushi. It was totally delicious, but it was butt ugly. I do not have pictures of it. We're trying to roll it and this and that and the other. But by the third time we made it, looking pretty good.
Right.
But I didn't care how it looked. It still tasted good. But to your point,
right?
Where I was looking at it and the things were falling out, and she's an artist and she was not happy with it. But I was like, but it tastes pretty good. But it was like you say, beginner's mind, first time.
Beginner's mind.
Now, if it tasted bad, if it had tasted bad,
that's a whole different story.
Problem.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and you make some food for your local meetup, right?
Paella.
Yeah, the DC club luckily gets to eat. Is it Tuesdays?
It's when they do it with the pair go. So first
Right.
Fridays
First
of the
Fridays.
month. Although I have to give credit where it's due. Actually, James Pinkerton, who I think it's 5 Dan these days, has taken over the paella. So we may have to have a paella.
The higher your rank, the better your paella. That's what I hear. No. No.
Anyway, it's nice. It's I always like to pass things on and not
Yeah.
sort of
Yeah.
keep it. So no, he's been doing a great job. But it's nice because you do
That's what it means to
paella
be-
and paella.
Oh, paella and Pergo.
Yeah.
Pergo.
No, I played last time because we do it. It's just a lot of fun. And actually, if you want to remove ego from the game, play Pergo.
Yes.
You cannot possibly be attached to your move.
Yes.
Was it? I think Todd. Were you telling me that somebody at breakfast was telling me something about a Pergo game that they played where their partner kept killing the dead group
Mhm.
over and over again. Just to make sure that the dead group was really, really
Yeah, really
dead.
dead. Yeah. Once I get twice, okay, 3 is you stop it. 4
Right,
times, 4 times. Oh my gosh. There's only so many times you can kill a dead group,
But as your partner, you just have to be like, okay, all right then.
Go Dave, I love the pun. Get strong at paella. That's right.
Ooh,
yeah.
I like that. That should be our next book.
Yeah,
The
that's
Strong of Pie.
yeah, you're the author there. That's
But you know how many
help
it
us
took me
level up.
many years. The first time I would tell you that another good first time story. So I did risotto for a bunch of years, which is also rice and stuff. Paella is it's also rice, but it's a very different technique.
Right.
So the first time I made paella, I tried to cook it like risotto. And those of you out there who cook or have eaten both, do not do that.
It was different.
It's complete. Risotto is a nice mushy rice.
Ah.
Paella is not. If your paella is mushy, you have then
You-
you have risotto.
Then you have risotto.
Didn't know you were going to get a cooking show, did you?
Yeah, that's right. Thanks for tuning into the AGA cooking broadcast. Yeah.
I bet that would be popular.
Well, let me say one more thing about
Okay.
that. And this is something I feed my club. We do a Thursday night go, and I got the idea to start doing food from the Boston Go community. They had a
They are
chef.
all about food.
They're all about food. They had a chef actually making wraps, and they were saying kind of it helps keep the energy high in the club
Wrap is not
because
food. Can I just say wrap's not food? Like the name wrap.
true.
That's not even like what is that? I do like a wrap.
I like a wrap too. But
Carry on.
carry on. So we have, but we do onigiri. So
Oh, I love onigiri.
little rice
But-
ball with seasoning, Japanese kind of food, and sometimes you put stuff inside, and that's just a great way to very cheaply make a lot of food for your players, and then make sure that and it's warm. The rice is warm. It's filling. It's savory. And people love it. So
As long as we're just off on the side, you think we hadn't had breakfast or something here. We actually did the sushi, but then I was studying up on it, and now we're just doing chirashi, which is
Ah.
chirashi is scattered, and you just take all your sushi stuff
right,
and you just scatter it over your bowl of rice. And I tell you what, it's kind of like what you're saying.
that's
It's
great.
really inexpensive. It's really tasty. You don't have to worry about all that.
I love that. I'm
rolling
going to steal that
mess.
from you.
Chirashi. I think it would be
Chirashi.
great
Yeah.
for your club because there's no rolling.
It's even less effort. Yeah,
That's what
I
I'm
mean,
just
I
trying
have
to keep it
sit
easy for
there
you, bro.
and make the balls exactly. Well, so
Because isn't the rice sticky?
it is. So
Can I just say, I really hate the way my hands feel when I get
Oh.
you have to put on the
Okay.
the gloves.
what I did is I went on Amazon. I found those little molds you can get. So we stuff the rice in the molds and press down. I don't have to touch it anymore and get it all over my hands.
Yeah, because you all know the
efficiency-
sticky rice is just nasty
Go-
to put your hands. Tastes lovely.
Right. But if
It
you're
just, you
holding it,
can't.
yeah, you make 3 rice balls and all of a sudden your hands are just rice balls, and it's not fun anymore.
Right.
Alex mentioning came for Go, stayed for the recipes. That's right. Exactly.
We'll be doing this every day.
So,
I can talk about food all day long.
and then we also have update from our
Oh,
our
Todd.
staff.
Todd is on. He's one of our crew here. Todd is back. He had to go to his brother's wedding last year, so we missed Todd last year, but he is back.
Unfortunate, but we
Maggie,
have him
can you
back.
smell his coffee? My God,
We're
I wish
lucky.
I drank coffee.
The EJ room. We have some perks here. Chris made us some shirts, really awesome custom EJ shirts with their names on
Because we
them.
can't remember our names.
That's in case we
So-
forget. Oh, that's what's right.
Where's your dude?
You wake up
I'm
in the morning, you're a
disappointed.
little sleepy, and you put something on, you forget. But I'll have it.
You
I'll
are
have it tomorrow.
dressed, so we appreciate that.
at least
Just
I
saying, it could be
remember the
worse.
shirt. And then Todd mentioning confirming and need the 90 minutes basic time 5 by 30.
Is that for the Open or is that also for the Masters? Both.
both.
All right.
Solid.
Todd is on the case.
And then we do about 5 to 10 more minutes till we get the pro commentary. I'm sure you guys eventually don't want to hear us just chat all day. But,
I think they want to hear us chat all day.
I lied. Okay,
Let's
no,
take
no
a
pro
vote.
commentary.
Let's take a vote.
Let's take a
Us
vote.
or Stephanie? I'm pretty sure we've
Actually,
got
here's
this.
something I wanted to try. So we have something in chat. We can actually get a vote. So here, let's try it out. See what happens. Start a poll.
Come on, let's see.
Uh,
Stephanie will show up. I'm sorry, you lost the poll. Does anybody know where Stephanie
just
is?
chatting.
By the way? Is Stephanie here?
She came in. She wanted to wait
She's
a little
here,
for the
here?
game progress. She's
She was here and then she's not back.
just chatting.
I don't see her. I
Or
need a visual.
pro commentary.
Oh, Saul's here. Saul's going to be our first host.
Saul, there you go.
All right. Are you wearing the hat, Saul, or are we going hat or no hat? We'll take a vote. We should take a vote on hat or no hat for Saul.
Saul,
We're
hat.
gonna let
It
him
has to be
call
hat. I like the
think it
hat.
has to be hat.
Yeah. All right.
Get
Let's
that
see
whole
here.
sort of.
All right. So
Are you doing this in real time?
yeah, real time. All right,
Damn,
chat.
We
So
do not pay you enough. We don't pay you anything.
That's right.
Like I said,
Double my pay. 0. So yeah, if people in chat want to take a vote, what do you want? Just chatting or pro?
let's-
Don't vote for just chatting. To be fair.
Fisher time. Talking to Todd, explain real quick about Fisher time because apparently more tournaments are moving over to Fisher time.
I use Fisher Time for my tournaments, and I
was
think
not
it
originally a
makes
fan of it,
sense.
but tell me why you like it.
So Fisher Time, the way it works for people that don't know, is you the
This is
old
ended.
Biyoyomi traditionalists is you have the main time that you're starting with, and it's almost like absolute. It just runs down. There's no overtime. But each time you play a move, you get some extra time in your clock. And that could be 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 20 seconds, depending on how long you want that game to go. One of the things that Fisher Time can help do is it can make sure that your games don't go on for infinity. Because with Biyoyomi, let's say you spend your 90 minutes playing the first 10 moves. No one's going to do that. But, something like that. These guys are thinking.
That's
deeply.
old Devin.
That's old Devin. That's old Devin. And then you have 30 seconds per move after. I mean, that game can last hours,
Believe
4
me.
hours, 5 hours.
Yeah.
And it particularly matters when you have round-based tournaments that you want to make sure that round 2 is not late, round 3 is not late. For us, luckily in the Open, we can take as much time as you want because you're just going to miss lunch, which would suck. But those guys in there can you just 1 round a day, not a big deal. But the for any other tournament that has
You're trying to get 3 rounds in
3,
a
4
day.
rounds a day, Fisher Time can really help make sure that time window is limited. Actually made a little handy dandy chart. Maybe I'll find it later and throw it up for the stream.
I think the other thing too is that one of the big things that people have is setting the Biyoyomi, and with
Right.
this you don't have to worry about that, so it simplifies that too,
it does.
right?
It does. Yeah. So it's pretty easy to use. It's been used and actually they're even using it on Badu TV. I mean, it's not just amateur, people using this. Where they're using it in the pro games. So
Has there
it's-
been any discussion about switching? I'm just saying that the Europeans are switching. I'm just wondering, has there been any talk about doing that? And we should have maybe we should have the TDs
Yeah.
in here.
Well, yeah, it'd be fun to have some TDs talking. All right, looks like
Axel wants the commentary.
Yeah,
Did you
looks
vote
like
for it,
we,
Axel?
looks like,
okay. I
the-
see. Are we?
so we ended the poll, and
How do we
100%
do?
pro commentary. Looks like we're getting kicked out.
I'm so surprised.
Yeah, exactly. So,
Well, this is probably fine because you probably need to go actually play your game.
whatever. Last year we did the stream stuff too, and I would.
We were dashing because can we just say last year in Colorado, the EJ room was uphill.
Yes, exactly.
And so poor Devin had to go dashing madly down to the playing area and
Yeah.
then dashing back. But you got your reps in.
I did. It's stay healthy, right? Got to move around. I remember I walked in, I think round 3. I literally played a move, and then the announcer came on. Anyone who's not started their game, you've lost. And I was like, okay, I got it. So yeah,
Sweet. So what we'll do, we will go find our pro
sure, yeah.
and then
Take a quick break, and
take a
we'll
quick
switch
break.
over when we come back. You guys get some great commentary about the games, and yeah,
Thanks so much for watching.
thanks so much.
Oh, there she is.
Hello, welcome to the American Go Association eJournals coverage of the U.S. Open Masters. We are in Kent State University in Kent, Ohio, for round one of the U.S. Open Masters tournament. And we've got some very exciting games to bring to you. I'm Solomon, and this is Stephanie Yin, a professional Go player from New York.
That's
And
right.
we are going to be covering these the first round of this tournament for you.
Great. So the first round is this is a table one between
Mhm.
Han Han versus Justin Chin or Justin Ten.
Mhm.
Is a Justin Chin, right? Six done.
Mhm.
Perfect. So Han Han is five-time professional.
Yeah, we won
Mhm.
everything last year. So this
Oh my God.
taking the white stones, black should be able to dictate the course of the game a little bit. What do you think of Justin's chances in this?
Oh wow! Between 6 dan amateur and a 5 dan professional, but you know, Go doesn't have 100% winning or losing rate, so
Mhm.
everyone will have a chance.
Mhm.
Let's see what's happening in the game.
All right, so let's we currently see where the game's at, but let's start from the beginning and see
Yeah.
how this progressed.
Okay. All right. So Justin is playing black. I think this is my first time to see Justin is playing the master. Are you? Are you? So I'm pretty sure he didn't play the last year.
Mhm.
Is it? Is
Yeah,
he
so
a
he's
new
maybe a
player?
wild card. I don't know.
Oh wow! Let's see. Okay.
But 6 dan is really the U.S. Amateur system only goes up to 7. So
Mm.
6 is fairly strong.
Oh, I see. But I do see some like eights, and that's just about the
Mm.
ratings.
Yeah, I think that would be a
Okay.
rating, or sometimes other systems. So In Seong, another top player who studied to be a pro, I believe is an 8 dan on paper.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah,
sometimes
it's like an
something- yeah,
honored
yeah,
level.
Mhm.
Okay. 3-4 rotating. Yeah, this opening is quite popular nowadays because everybody kind of hate the 3-3 invasion because it's very complicated. And then yeah, that's also if I nowadays when I play the game, I always start the rotating 3-4 because I don't want my corner to get 3-3.
Yeah, so black has no 4-4 points on those star points to easily get invaded. Makes it so white has to make a decision.
Yeah. Okay, so Kasumi is very typical opening nowadays. On like before the AI, this move was considered as a slow move,
Mhm, mhm.
but
A little too slow and
too-
solid.
too slow and so. But nowadays, since AI played it, and a lot of professionals started playing,
Mhm.
and it become more popular. Okay, approach.
And ignores. So
Yeah.
Justin responded to that first approach in the upper right, but now ignores the next approach in the lower right to follow up on his idea.
Mm-hmm. This is also a very big move, and usually for very strong players, they also compete in like they have a mental competition as
Mhm.
well. It's like
kind of a game of chicken. like,
yeah,
who's
I
gonna-
played a move. How dare you? You're not responding my moves.
Mhm.
Then I'm gonna punish that corner. Okay. And then white attach. Yeah. So usually there are 3 options to respond to the double approach,
Mhm.
to attach, and then the Kasumi. So the difference between the two attach, I guess it's very similar in this situation, A and B, because both are attachment to attack one of the approach moves. But the difference between a C and then the 2 attaches, if white plays the Kasumi right here.
Yeah, if white just extends out into the middle
Yeah.
to keep these stones separated.
Can I?
Yep, just go ahead and click on C.
Yeah. No. Okay.
Yep,
Good.
There we go.
Yeah. So usually when white plays the Kasumi, that's when white is ready to Tanuki at this point.
Mhm.
But if white wants to continue the fight, then A and B will be better than C. Okay. So
And is it possible for white to ignore again? And play that
No.
game of chicken and take, for example, a p4 and lean on that black
Mm.
stone?
Yeah, this is a very a good move to follow up. But before white tanukis, white should make that exchange because when you have that exchange, you're already settled the 4/4 point in the lower left in the lower left corner. But if white doesn't play that move, and it's very easy for black to get surrounded, so that exchange move is already a benefit for white. Okay, so
Okay.
yeah, as a result, if white wants to Taniki, white should make that exchange.
All right. Well, let's see how Han goes with the
Mhm.
attention on the left.
And descend. Okay. This is not very common to respond to the attach. The two common ways are either wedge or hane here. Well, personally, I think if I were playing white, I would prefer the hane instead of the wedge because the
Well,
final.
this shape for black is just very good and efficient. Those tiger mouth shapes on the left. Black has 6 stones working very well here. And I don't think white can play away. White needs to
Yeah, white
to
needs to
put another stone
either
on.
right, and then the shape here is called the empty triangle is really not great shape.
Mhm.
Mm. But there is a disadvantage of playing the hana here. There are 2 cutting points. So white most likely, since there's no stone on the right side, and then white should just give up the 2 stones if black is planning to cut through. So that's one option. So if that happens in the game, this is not a good move to cut through because if we get a trade between the stone here and then 2 stones on the top, obviously the territory here is much more than the 2 stones.
And those 2 stones aren't completely caught yet.
Right. There's a still ladder situation here. Okay. So let's see what happened in the actual game. Han descend. And yeah, so black would definitely take the 3/3 and cut. Okay, so most likely they're going to have a trade. So the classic Joseki is this is the most classic Joseki. Black played the 3/3 first, and the white blocks. Black pulls back, and the white wedges, Atari connect, and then Tiger's Mouth. But this is even worse than the first variation, which
Yeah, now,
just went
now the
through.
corner is solid and white
It's terrible.
again has a wall limited by that little black stone and
Yeah.
not much to show for it.
Right. So that's not acceptable for white. And that's why in the actual game, white decided to cut on the outside and then sacrifice the 2 stones in the corner and then
Okay.
capture here. Okay. Well, I was thinking the cut might not be the best move here. So I'm debating on the cut in the actual game and hane on the second line, sorry. The reason is in the actual game, it seems those 2 stones are dead. It gives black more territory,
Mhm.
but later on there's still some ajis. There are a couple sentes for white to play in the
Right. So in addition to having all that power on the top, white might be able to even further limit black and protect the center.
Yeah, that's right. But if the stone is right here, let's remove the stone oops, how do I, okay. If the stone is at the hane here, there's no sente on the top for white. So actually the shape and the group are stronger than the stone is right here. Okay. All right, let's see.
Yeah, and that's a good reminder that Go is not always just about capturing stones.
Right.
That capturing stones is almost an obligation,
Mm,
and sacrificing can be very beneficial.
yeah. That's why Go has another name called the game of efficiency.
Mm.
As long as the exchange moves, your move is more efficient than your opponent, you're going to win the game. So capture is not the key to win the game. Okay. Oh, they did a similar Joseki in the top left.
Yeah, but this time the 3/3
Yeah, Han Han chose Hane is because if whites do the same thing, then that's not very ideal because the main territory and influencing on the left side. So protecting here, it's
Yeah,
the best way to do it.
left side is going to be a hard
Mm.
thing to break for black, but going into it directly, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah, I don't really like the
And
cut.
now we see why D2 was so important for black.
So right now there are so many senteis like
Mhm.
forcing move on the outside.
So white's not expecting D2 to survive. That extra stone added is just making that
Mm,
making that bigger, harder to ignore his follow-up moves.
yeah, that's right. There's a go old saying like there are a couple like
Proverbs?
how do you call this?
Proverbs.
Proverbs. Right,
Yeah.
right. That's the word. You never want to get your no. It's when one stone is about to get captured,
Mhm.
you should always extend more stone
Mhm.
because
Yeah.
it will waste of your opponent's stones to
You
surround.
just want to give your stone a friend. Don't let one stone get sacrificed alone. Send two to get sacrificed.
Yeah. Similar situation here. If white doesn't descend, and black can only use two stones to cap. After the descend, it forces
Yeah.
black to spend additional
Free,
stone to capture.
Mhm.
Okay. Um, okay, so this is the game. After descent, and white decided to attack the 4 stones right here.
Yeah. So ignoring C9 for a moment. So black could take an opportunity to connect it at B7 and sort of connect underneath into white's area there.
Yeah, yeah.
But then white would, of course, punish
the 4
the
stones.
4 stones at the top.
So black does own additional stone in the top because the Joseki should end with the side extension.
Mhm.
But I guess black is a little worried about the big moyo there. So Justin decided to
Do you think?
invade.
Do you think he should be if he simply makes the Joseki move to finish that top sequence at K17, then he could follow up pretty strongly on the top and be threatening to build something large of his own.
I agree. So if I were black, I think I will more toward to this move
Mhm.
instead of invading. Go is about patience.
Yeah.
I know it's having a big moyo. I don't like this happening in my game. I get scared too.
Yeah.
When I see my opponent is creating a big moyo, I always want to invade in a perfect timing.
Mhm.
But if we invade it too early, then
Mhm.
it's you're not going to get a lot of a profit because other stones are not settled. Even though, for example, if black somehow surrounded here, and then the 4 stones will get attacked, and then black will be forced to make 2 eyes, and then every area will just be 2 eyes. And overall, if we think the whole board, then there's not efficient for black to win the game.
Mhm. Yeah, black probably worried about having to make up Comey since white plays second in the game. White takes 6.5 points, 7.5
Okay.
in the AGA system. The
Right. Yeah.
compensation for playing second. So black is sort of obligated to find an advantage.
Yeah.
And maybe that's what Justin's thinking early on is to have to push the envelope a little bit.
Yeah. So the perfect timing is hard. The invasion cannot be too
Mhm.
early, cannot be too late.
Yeah, if he waits too late, that left side might just be
too big.
growing out into the middle.
Yeah. Okay. So this is the actual game. And I think black won't have any time to connect here. And even with the Hane, there's still a potential
Oh, now
code.
white can fight code to keep those stones separated.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. White descended first. Kasumi. Oh, okay. Oh, I see. Oh, very good. So advanced.
So white doesn't want to
Yeah.
see that connection.
Right. So after that exchange here, white already got some profit because this local group doesn't have enough base. And then those 2 stones are light. So it's also very hard for black to attack both stones at the same time. Yeah, so I guess the game will become very complicated. There's a weak group here, and then most likely there will be 3 weak groups on the top.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
Black can't let those 2 white stones coordinate and settle on the top because
Mm.
that'd be too easy.
Oh, okay, sorry, I skipped 1 move. Okay, this is the move.
So it looks like right away he's saying no,
Yeah.
no connecting.
I don't think a black can afford this to happen. Like just press on the top and let white all connected. So black will have to pincer here.
Mhm. And the 4th line's good because a move on the 3rd line, black would sort of be easily pressed down, and
Mm-hmm.
he's not going to live locally with M16. So he wants to stay closer to the center, and
Yeah.
able
yeah.
to run.
Yeah, that's right. And especially in this particular situation, since both stones are pretty light and a white can easily sebaki to get a forcing moves and
Mhm.
at the same time create a cutting point. If this stone is too low, then it will be very easy for
Sure.
white to surround on the top. So let's say if black plays the tiger's mouth, and then white can easily surround, and then black will be in big trouble.
Mhm.
Okay, let's go back to the game.
And
No, he didn't play here. That's my variation.
so white
Ooh,
attaches again, trying to fight.
interesting
Yeah.
move. I know.
Just sort of lean on your
Mm.
opponent.
Mm,
Since white's already weak, try to create some weakness in black's position as well, so that they both have some vulnerabilities.
And so just by looking at this move, my understanding is white doesn't really want to do some thank you moves, I would call it, like the
Mhm.
push.
Well, now he's pushing black into the area that he was planning on developing.
Yes. So that's why white is trying to do a sabaki in this area to get some help and forcing moves. If this group is strong enough, let's say if white is able to, this is just an example. It's not going to
Mhm.
happen like this.
Sure.
But if white can surround on the top this area, then not only this group will be alive and strong, but also this area will become a territory.
Mhm.
And that's the plan for white.
Yeah, and as soon as black's group in the upper left is surrounded, then they're really under some pressure to live locally on the top
Mm.
instead of running out and finding
Yeah.
space in the middle.
Yeah, that's right.
That would be the end of the game.
I guess, yeah. Okay. So Justin extended. Right. This is the vital point. To all of the audience, you should remember this shape. Sente, very comfortable shape, and to take away your opponent's eye space and expand your own eye space. The key point. And black doesn't have any other choices. In other situation, when you respond to the peep, you usually can play the tiger's mouth or tiger's mouth here. But in this particular situation, this tiger's mouth actually is a gote. So black eventually will have to connect. Then that triangle, empty triangle,
Mhm.
doesn't
Because
help
otherwise,
them.
white will have a multi-purpose move. Playing at h16 will
Mm.
both threaten to capture that
Mhm.
stone and threaten to cut off it at g15.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Okay, that's good. And what do you think the next move
Well,
is?
I think it looks like white's trying to settle on the top. Like white's almost got enough space to just live there. My guess is that white's gonna either double Hane at n18,
Good job.
because he's
That's
sort of in a fighting mode,
Mhm.
or if he just wants to live by descending to m18. That seems a little lukewarm. It's not going to be completely alive yet, and black will get very nice shape cutting off that p17 stone for free.
Yeah, good, great. My first thing's thinking it's the Hane at n18. Let's see whether he played. A lot of pressure. Oh, he did not
Just-
play.
oh.
He connected.
Okay, well now he has two options to connect underneath at n18
Yeah.
or to come out.
Come out right here.
Mhm.
So I was reading after this, black has
Oh.
white has some cutting point here. if the extend doesn't work, if the net doesn't work, then white already lost the 2 stones here. So that's not very good for white, because black, after those 2 stones are dead, then black will have enough ice space to live. But right now, the ice space is the most important. The stone P17 is just a territory related, but it's not important to the fight on the left side. So that's why he connected. I was worried about the cut. Yeah. Okay. Oh, this is the game. Oh, he tanukied.
So they sort of both are
Mm.
in agreement that the left side is simply
Mm,
so important right now.
right.
Black doesn't have time to cut off that stone in the upper right.
Mm-hmm. Okay, but descent, black will have to get that move because that's too big.
Well, that's interesting that white doesn't connect now, because that would really solve all his problems on the top at the expense of the left-hand side.
Yeah. Mm,
I wonder what black's follow-up would be that white's afraid of.
mm. I'm sure Han White really wants to get that move. But if we do compare these 2 moves in territory, after White jumps here in the actual game, White pretty much surrounds all of the points on the left side. That's about 30
Easily,
points.
yeah, 30, 40 points.
30, 40 points. Yeah. It's on the 6th line territory. That's very comfortable.
Yeah, there's no way for black to
Mm.
really
So-
create shenanigans inside there.
Yeah. So this move, this is a very tempting move to play.
Yeah, well, now the upper right looks like it's all blacks.
Yeah.
Maybe there's still
Mm.
something in the corner.
There's some ajis, like attach and hane. So between these 2 moves, I think this move, the jump in the actual game, gives away more points, and indirectly give more pressure on the black stone. But these 2 moves are very tempting to play. It's a hard. So right now, it's hard to tell which move is bigger.
Mhm.
Mm. Okay. This is the actual game. Oh, the large next move. I was
Okay,
thinking.
So white's immediately cashing in on the fact that he's first of all taken
Mhm.
F13 for the cash, and
Mhm.
has the follow-up of being able to continue to harass those black stones.
Yeah, this is a good move. I was thinking just a small nice move, but
No, it
that's
looks
too.
more solid.
Yeah, too over concentrated, because white already have a lot of sentes here, like extend because of the cutting point. So white actually doesn't have any weaknesses here. Okay.
Black creates a weakness.
Oh, okay.
So now white defends.
I think this move is to prevent the wedge. He might be worried about the cutting point here. That's why he bumped. Okay, pull back. Yeah. I'm sure White should feel very comfortable in this game right now. It's gonna be a
So
quick
now-
game.
Black just threatening to do something to white's territory, just to give himself a little bit more breathing room in the center.
But it won't have anything because the dragon is way too heavy. I don't think this
Yeah.
variation would work
White
for
will
black.
simply continue to attack. And then
Yeah, so black will, yeah. Okay.
All right. So at this point, black is sort of settled in the middle.
And then even white, so let's say in the future, and then black Atari, white doesn't have to Atari here. The extend also works. Because if black used to Atari, there are 2 cutting points. And then if black blocks here, then white can cut here in center and then block. So there's no way for black actually cut through. So everything on the left side is already belong to black, belong to white. It's just back to our efficiency topic. If we compare both stones efficiency, all the stones right here, the black dragon, are dummy.
They're sitting in the middle. They're not worth anything.
Yeah.
Of course, white has a few stones in the middle attacking them. But
So there's also old saying says if the exchange between the inside and outside, the outside stones always have a more value. that will be considered on the outside.
Mhm.
Because even though we don't see any territory or influence, but if we compare 4 stones right here and the 4 stones right here, but white has more value than black. Okay. So this is the actual game.
So white immediately reactivating,
The stone.
Those stones.
Yeah.
and black still worried about being harassed in the middle.
No, I think that's a misread, right? This move doesn't work. Oh no, that's those 2 stones are dead. Then the game will be end very soon.
So now white's even larger on the top. Oh no!
Mm.
So black didn't even get the upper right corner after all. That
Yeah.
looks like it might be
I think
a
this is
very
definitely
hard game from
for
for Justin from here.
I think this is definitely a misread. Black probably assume this is a sente, and then after the net, the stone is completely dead, and then the dragon is okay, and then he can connect here and then start second fight. But the Atari doesn't work.
Yeah, so he thinks white's gonna respond to this on the left and
Mm.
protect that left side from getting invaded. But
Mm.
in actuality, white says you can't get into the left side. Actually, go ahead and try.
Mm.
And then he tries,
he tried, but it didn't work.
and white shows him, I'm willing to give up a little bit. And
Mm. Okay.
so maybe black can build a very large bottom now.
So having
That's
the
an idea.
positional judgment is very important in Go in any stage. So usually we do before the fight or after the fight. We'll give you a better idea what to do next. So this is the best moment to do the whole board judgment. Like what you mentioned earlier, if black is able to create a big moyo on the bottom area, it probably will be still even game, but unlikely because
There's so much room.
right.
But black's very strong. Now black has some additional strength in the middle since he invested those extra moves. If you were white here, what's the best way to handle the bottom? To try to come in on the third line and survive down there, or to perhaps try to reduce it?
If I will invade there, the third line will be the choice because there's so many spaces here, and then white also have some sente and in the center. These are white sente, so it will be very easy for white to invade. Okay. Let's see what happened.
Han says.
Okay, so he played. Oh, yeah, this is also a very big move. It's not in rush. Even with additional stone, black is kind of in a very awkward situation. So there are.
So what you're saying is with one move, black can't just fix the bottom.
Right.
So white is going to leave it for later.
Yeah,
Interesting.
yeah, and also there are a couple centers here, and then it's very easy for white to jump down and invade there. Okay.
So black counterattacking, trying to get something started.
So I think at this point, Wei will just need to respond very calmly, and then don't need to start any serious fight, and then Wei should win the game very quickly. Okay, this is the game. Okay, I think that's
All right.
we cut up the game right here.
But we're pretty sure that white has this game pretty well in hand. It's a little too hard for black to make up the points, especially after that loss of those 2 stones on the top.
Yeah. If we do the I would say the whole board judgment right here, this is the first move the fight started, the peep, right? So at that point, if black just simply take the side extension right here, black should have the top area, white has the left area, and it's still even. But after the fight, white still have the left area, white has the
doesn't,
top.
and white got the top
Yeah.
instead of black.
Yeah. So what black got is only a couple points in the center. Okay, so would you like to
Yeah.
switch to the second game?
Well, I think, yeah, this would be a good time to take a break, and we might be able to bring in another commentator to go over the second game with you.
Okay,
I believe
sounds
we
great.
have Kat Mai standing on deck, and we'll take a look at what's going on board number 2.
All right, awesome.
All right.
Hi, so we are resuming our commentary here at the Master the Open. We are gonna be reviewing board 3 with Yishan as white and Albert as black. Again, Stephanie Yin will be the pro commentator. Stephanie, do you want to start off with
Of
the
course.
board 3?
Yes, the board 3 is between Albert and Ishan Zhou. Are you familiar with any of the players?
Not Yishan, but I've seen Albert around a lot.
Mhm.
He's a player from Chicago,
Yeah.
and yeah, he's been a frequent attendance in the Masters.
Nice. Yeah. And so both players are pretty strong. There are about AGA 7 and 8 done. 7 done is the highest. Okay. All right. So this is the current game, and then let's start from the beginning. Yeah, so I took a glance of the game earlier, and then both are fighting on the board. It's gonna be very complicated game. All right, so Albert is playing black. Okay, yes, like what I mentioned earlier. Yeah, once you see the start point nowadays, the 3-30 is always the follow up after that. Okay.
Is it made more popular by the AI?
Yes. I think so it started to play in 2016 or 17 after I'm not sure which AI started this move, but it's definitely got popular after the AI. One of the reason is the most traditional 3-3 invasion will end it like this. Yeah, but AI Joseki has upgraded the variation. So the best advantage for Wei to have this variation on the board is these two stones are actually helping move, or called a thank you move, to help Wei get stronger on the outside, and it's harder for black to invade or do the splitting move on the left side. So if the influence is generated too early in the game, then black in this situation will have a disadvantage in the mid game. But the AI told us black doesn't need to play this forcing move to help away. Instead, black can either tanuki here or make additional extend, and then do the splitting move directly. So black actually can save those two moves because the corner is already alive. Okay, but of course there are a lot of different variations about the 3-3 invasion. Okay, so this is also one of the most common way to respond. So the idea behind this move is after the extend, after black respond either the knight's move or the jump in the actual game, then the white can tanuki at this point. It's a sente if you want to do something else on the board. Okay. All right. Okay, I'm looking at the ladder. Okay, so for the audience, probably you have a question between the jump and the knight's move here. If the ladder works, then black can choose the jump. So where the ladder? It's right here. That's the ladder. So since what black has the start point here, and it will all run. Oh my God, my misreading. I'm sure that the players should read this carefully. Right. So at this point, and then turn, right. So the ladder works for black. That's also the reason why white tanuki. That's at this point. White. This is also a ladder breaker. Right? That's right. Okay, and then black comes back to fix the ladder, and 3 space. That's unusual.
Why is it unusual?
So, well, there are 2 reasons. One is white already decided to tanuki and find the ladder breaker here. So when you decided to tanuki, you always wanted to follow up with the double approach, since the first approach is already played. And second reason is Oh, well, I guess locally this is okay. But the three stones okay, I guess the three space extension in the local area should be okay. But since white already invested in one move in the top right corner, so and it would be better to continue and get more profit because you already have the control and the sente. Mm. But in opening, pretty much if you're not against the principle, like the theory of Go, and everything is okay.
Right.
Because this is so early to determine who's winning. Even as a small mistake or like a slow move, it won't affect the game that much. But I'm not saying opening is not important.
Right. It just it leaves a lot of room still
Yeah.
for later.
So right. So the audience now you can have an excuse say, oh, since you can do anything you want in the opening and I don't, and I can stop learning opening. That's not right. Okay. Double approach. No, he played a 3 space extension here. And then black played. Okay. The 1 space pincer. Okay, so they just follow the very classic Joseki here. Mm-hmm.
At this point, we say it looks pretty moyo building so far. Like black has their own moyo and the bottom right, and then white has the bottom, the upper.
Yeah. It's kind of a more balanced because black it does have some moyo influence right here and then in the lower right corner, but in the lower left, black has a very solid territory. Same for white. Yeah, so they're playing a pretty similar style in this game. This is territorial Joseki for white, and white has some influence on the left side. Okay, 1 space pincer. Okay, jump, kick. All right. Yes, this is a very big move. I like that. That's also a follow-up move after the Kasumi at G2. This move helps black get a bigger territory and influence, and at the same time limiting the white's influence as well.
It does look very big if I was white.
Yeah.
Even though there's a lot of evasion points, it still looks a little scary.
Yeah. Yeah, this is probably one of the most common questions that I receive from either audience or my students. Players like to play a Moyo styles game because it's very exciting and you have a lot of spaces down the board. But at the same time, we get scared when you're having a big Moyo. And even we're playing a Moyo styles, sometimes we're a little worried too. If your opponent invade very deeply, if you can't really kill it or get any profit, then you will lose all the points.
Right. Well, as seen here, Ishan has invaded at O2.
O2.
What is the common response to this?
First of all, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2, 6. This move is called the 2-6 reduction move. So the difference between reduction and invasion moves are, this is also related to the whole board thinking and whole board judgment. So reduction move is like, I also give players an example. If we're swimming, if you dive in, that's more like invasion. You're trying to make eyes there and trying to take all the points away. But of course, as a lot of riskier than reduction move. The reduction move is like you're just floating on the top of the water and relax, just to reduce the influence. But the reason why this is called 2-6 or 2-5, and then there's another common move 2-4 reduction, is because it's easy for way to make eye space on the side or to the corner. The very common reduction move will be like the shoulder hit or the cap. These are, you're not really taking away all the points, but you're pressing and make the territory smaller. So that will be, if white does something around here, that will be invasion move. You're dabbing, and then you have to jump out and then take, need to get some air. Okay. So he played here, and then some normal responses to this is either the Kasumi, I believe Albert played this move in the actual game, or just simply jump down to here. Mm. Okay, so compared with the 2-5 and 2-4, 2-6 is not as common as the other two reduction moves because it's further from the corner. And then after black jumps down, and the corner is very comfortable surrounded. That's why the 2-5 and then 2-4 are more popular than the other. So I think that's fine. 2-4 and 2-5. White shouldn't get too scared about this move. In some situation, 2-6 is better. Is white really want to have some settlement on the side instead of the corner? So if white does 2-5 or 2-4, it's very easy for black to surround, and then white now is forced to go to the corner.
Right.
But I think in this situation, that's fine. Okay. All right. Oh yes. So Albert did the Kasumi here, and then clamp, and smooth. Okay, and then okay. So seems they temporarily settled on the bottom area, and then Albert played a probe move here. It's trying to test the water, and then either white blocks here, and then the black will have the sente here, and then save the 2 stones. Or if white decided to kill this stone, and then black can jump out and live in the corner.
I see. So this is probe move. Let white know what. Black know what white is preferring. Like which side does white prefer more? Is that what it's doing?
It depends on where white plays. That's why it's a probe move. But when probe move is also one of the pretty advanced concept in Go, because when you play the probe move, you have to know the potential variations are always good for you. If one variation is a disaster for you, then the opponent, of course, will choose the better one. But this is good because even though white killed the corner, but since black has a more sentes on the second line, it's easier for black to settle this weak group. Okay, so he extended, and then black. Okay, attach. Very classic move to Sabeki. Okay, cut. Okay. Well, when we're playing a Go game, I know that the actual skill is very important, and then sometimes we also have like a mental strategies. Like when your opponent's trying to get something, you always want to break their plan.
Right.
So by saying this is because this is the plan for black. Black wants to get the sente on the top, and then more sente here, and then black can easily form eyes in the center.
Right.
So if I were white, I will try not make that happen to make my opponent very comfortable. So I will prefer Atari on the second line, and then extend. But I think maybe white is worried about the cut, but I think that's okay. Make black to a dumpling shape. Yeah, even captured the stone here, black captured, but the entire group is still pretty heavy. That's why when we played the pro games, when we study the pro games, you will see, oh, why is the pro as Tanuki at this point? It's because they don't really want to follow their opponent's plan. No, they
Right.
always want to lead the game by having the sente.
Is that why they also take some less advantages, position locally, so that they can get sente sometimes?
Well, it's a very difficult question to answer. Is because it depends on the situation. So the best way to have a judgment is if nothing will severely dead or damaged or destroyed, you can consider Tanuki. That's also a reason why we see a lot of Tanuki moves in the pro game, in the openings, not during the mid game. because
Right.
mid game is more about fight and capture race and dragons. So it's a harder to
Yeah,
to
it's harder
technically.
to integrate with.
Okay, so I'm sure Albert is pretty happy with the exchange moves here, and then Atari on the top. This is the actual game. Oh no, this is the actual game. Okay, ninth move. Yeah, the bottom area it's also very unsettled. Wow.
Would you say H3 looks a little bit too far, or will you
H3
jump out?
H3, it's not that far. It's because White can really afford to respond to additional move because these two stones are first very small in territory, and second, if it's a still black Sente, then the entire group will be in trouble. So White right now is trying to get some Sentes to get more eye space on the left side. Wow, this is a. Okay, I'm sure Albert had some readings about this move because it's very aggressive. The purpose of this move is actually to cut through, to threaten the cutting point here. But it seems Black is not very happy to respond. Okay, let's see what happened. Okay. All right, then that's good. Okay. The reason why I laughed is because I think Black got what Black wants after the cut, after the attach. My understanding of this move is Black doesn't want to just respond like this move by playing sort of like a dame or a neutral point. Black wants to make the move more efficient to take eye space away at the same time and protect the cutting point. And then Albert succeeded. And this is a very bad move. Sorry to say this, but
What is the better, more efficient way to follow up?
well, first of all, there are some stones. There are different type of stones in Go games. We know stones are important, but some stones are useless stones, and you should never save them.
Okay.
And then another type of stone is dead stone. Then of course we can't save it; it's already dead. We only need to save the important stones or the key stones. But this stone, it's not important at all because how do we know where the important stones are? The easiest way, just shortcut for you guys to remember, on the cutting point. If the stones are on the cutting point to separate two weak groups, that's the stones you must save. But this stone, first, only 2 points. Second, is not on the cutting point. And then because White has to save the stone and help the Black to cut through, and those 3 stones on the left side got hurt.
So instead of just pushing, would White be better off jumping out? and
Just
follow
do
up?
the same move as he played in the actual game. I don't think Black will Atari here because White will have a squeeze on the bottom and then fix the cutting point. And what's the point of capturing one stone there? There's only 1 point. It's too small. Yeah, most likely Black will still play the move in the actual game that he
I
did
see.
the block. Yeah, he will still do the same move when White descend. So there's this is not good.
Also, I think board 1 is finished with resignation. Black's won.
For the board one?
Yeah, I
Let's
think
take
Black
a
is
quick-
Han Han.
Oh, this is the board one.
Oh, actually, Justin,
Just Han Han.
Black won. So Justin won against Han Han.
Really? Oh no, White
Oh.
played the last move.
Right, Black resigns. Black resigns.
Okay. That would be very surprising because just by looking at, because we were doing the game one, the board one earlier, just by looking at the flow of the game, White is winning, leading all the time, unless there's an Atari white didn't see and get captured.
Oh, yeah, that really seals
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Okay. So now we know the board one already finished and Han Han won.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Say it again. Han Han did not lose. Han Han won by resignation.
Okay. This is the board. Oh, we're on board 3 right here. Okay. Let's go back to the actual game. Okay. Yeah. So without this move, black cannot do it like the tiger's mouth, like very good shape. But because of that move, it helped to black to get very efficient and a good shape there. Okay. My guess of this game is it should be quick too. Maybe I will. Oh, I'm wrong.
Will you consider G4 the losing move? Is it that severe?
Oh, it's not very. It won't be a losing move. But just to, sometimes when you look at your opponent's styles, you will sort of know what are the follow-up moves your opponents will play. But based on these small mistakes, and then black didn't make very serious mistakes so far. But there's no 100% winning rate here, and something might happen. But just based on these moves played on the board, black is winning. Yeah. So Go is all about like accumulate little by little. We can't win just by playing the opening. And the one mistake won't cause the player to lose the game, but multiple, even small mistake will cost the game. Will affect the game. Yeah. So white played a slow move here to Atari, and then a mistake here. But for black, everything looks pretty good. Okay. So this Kasumi also prevent the cut. This is a very big move. I was talking about the cut here, attach, and then cut, or even clamp. There's some potential weaknesses here. Okay. All right, this is a very big move. And black got a lot of cash in the lower left corner. And then come back to make straight 4, which is already a live shape. So the dragon in the center is good. All right. Well, then I'm questioning about S7, if that will happen. So previously, black played attach. Locally, that's a good move. But if this stone will eventually get captured, then this is not worth it. Instead of playing the attach, then black should play the Kasumi.
To keep white down.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe black is already in a winning mode. So he's thinking, okay, you want to take one stone? Go ahead, take it. So now I have more sentient on the right side, and then I can attack the dragon on the bottom area. Okay. Hane, a very painful move, because I don't think he actually played this move. Does that work?
Is black trying to kill the whole white group?
Yeah, I don't think the latter works for white. But black didn't play this move. So white played a tiger's mouth, and black connected. I'm not sure why. Just by reading it here, it works. So black is not happy to kill the 5 stones. I would be pretty happy. Okay, and then even for the 5 stones here, if that's going to happen, just sacrifice one stone and get everything on the bottom, then it's very good for black.
Right.
No, I don't know. I don't know what Albert is worried about. But he connected. Okay. And then white, yes. White now fix the cutting point. All right. Okay. I think if black does that, the game will be over soon. If white cannot do anything. The only way white can save the 5 stones is Atari and a push on top. I think white should black should be okay. Even the 3 stones are dead. Capturing the 5 stones on the bottom already give black 15 points. Okay, or unless are you gonna say something? Sorry.
Oh, no, not at all. I was thinking, like, without that killing, do you think by points black is leading?
I think that's probably the reason why black doesn't want to cause a very complicated fight by cutting here. Maybe we can just count the board for now. Okay, about 10 points right here. 10 point, 20, 30, 35, 35, 40, 40, okay, 40. I will give white 5 points there, 40. So white has 40 points in hand. I didn't count this area. And then black, let's say 5 points here. 10 points. Maybe not 10 points, less than 10 points. Okay, with a little points here, let's give black 10 points, 15 points for three groups. And we have 10, 15, 20, 30. Okay, black has 30 points here. 45. How much did I say white? 35.
Yeah, plus Komi is
1,
like
2, 3, 35. 45 versus 45 versus 35. So black is leading in territory. But very, very close because there's only 10 points difference. And then Komi is 7.5.
Okay.
Okay. So he peeped first. Yeah. Black is still. I will ask Albert after the game why he didn't cut. Yeah.
Do you think at this point this pretty much settled? Just only like a little bit before endgame.
Not even close. I think
Oh.
because black is still. I thought black wanted to settle the fight and start the end game, but apparently no. He still continue attacking, cutting through here. Okay. And then this move. If white is worried about the cutting point, then that's the explanation of playing additional move toward to your opponent's strong wall. Otherwise, that's the wrong direction. So white should definitely run to this direction and then connect with the big group, the main troop on the left side. Unless there's something on the right side. But I don't see anything. Right here, cut. And I can simply push out. Oh, this group cannot be dead. It's so many eye space. So then the next move is not right. So white should play one of the moves toward to the left side. Okay. And now the dragon becomes in danger again. This is Gote eye. There's no eye space on the top. Okay, so black let white connect and create some influence there. Okay, so most likely they're going to go to the end game very soon. Okay. Okay. Okay, that's the game. So black has 10 minutes left and then white has 35 minutes left. Oh, okay. Actually, Albert is using more time. Okay, so after the cut, I think the end game will begins. So all of the fights are already settled. So what do you think? How do you feel the game so far?
I think in the beginning there was a lot of complicated moves against like really deep invasions, like really low line move, which I'm really not familiar with. But yeah, like right now it looks like pretty settled, and that wasn't really like super big fight happening.
Yeah. What do you think your style is, Ingo?
When I used to play, it was really territorial, and I took like a 3 years break, and then I became much more
fighting.
active. Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah,
Why
it's
did that
not-
change?
Well, I think it's just I got way worse, and then my counting skills got worse, and then yeah, it's just more confident to fight.
Oh, okay. Maybe your reading skills got better, and then you are more comfortable to fight.
So. I can only hope so. Well, what do you think of the game so far?
Yeah. So I think at this point, we should count the game because usually when the game end game starts, all the fights settled. It's the time to count the end game. Sorry, the territory. So white has 5, 10, 12. I will give white 14 points in the lower right corner. Okay. 5, 6, 7. 21. Combine the lower area, two groups. 21, 31, 30, 33, 35, 45, 51. I didn't count this area. 51 points. I didn't count this area for white. My feeling is white is catching up because black didn't get anything after this fight. Only these 2 stones are dead. That's it. Black could have killed the 5 stones earlier.
Do you think Black used all that time to read that maybe he could kill White, and then turns out not?
Good question. I don't know. All right, let me finish counting black for maybe black is still winning. It's just my feeling, but that's why we should never use our feeling to play moves. We have to 100%, not 100%, at least we have to read as many as possible, the variations as you can, and then play. Okay, so white has a 51 points, and then black has 21, 27, 28, 29. Okay, 30 points. 35, 36, 37, 40, 41. And then that's a 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 55, 61, 2, 3, 4, 64-ish. This is still pretty close because I didn't count around 7, 8 points on the top area. So white has a 51 points, and then black has a 62 to 5 points. So that's after Komi, it's only like a 7, 8 points difference.
Right. I guess we can wait until endgame finish and move to board 2.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, so this is the board 2. Wow, it seems there are even more fights. Yeah. So they're having a fight, the co-fight here, and this group is dead, and the top group is dead. Okay. Just by looking at the game, I think the code really will determine the game. All right.
Seems like a lot of code threats for White. It's I can't see a lot of code threat for White.
For white.
But black has a few cold threats with that group. There.
A couple here, and then a couple here. Okay, so maybe we can start from the beginning. This is the game between Jeremiah.
Yeah, Jeremiah Donnelly, 5 Don, and Eric Louis. They're both American players. Eric Louis is an AGA pro.
Mm-hmm.
Familiar with?
He's currently 2 dan pros. Okay. Okay, so Eric is playing Wade. Okay, so both player chose cross the corner opening style, which is not as common as focus on one side. There's one of the reason is nowadays black is having 7.5 Komi. It's bigger Komi, and then if black plays the cross the corner style, it's harder for black to generate the big moyo. That's why most of the people will prefer just to focus on one side to take the advantage of sente. But this is also
Right.
a good opening.
And no 4/4 point
Mm.
this time.
Yeah. Okay. Approach. Oh, and then wait to nuke it. Okay, and then come back. Okay, that's good. And finish the Joseki in the top left. Jump. Okay. This is very classic. And then shoulder hit. Okay. And then black will just simply connect on the bottom. Okay. So just after this move, it seems both players are pretty peaceful because, yeah, black does have a couple attacking moves here, but black chose to turn on the bottom and it just connected with the stone. And then a white approach in the top. Okay, and most likely black. Oh, I was wrong. I thought white is going to take the side and then have the peaceful trade.
Right.
Okay, but white didn't agree that. White wedged and then tried to live in the corner. And what do you think the next move would be?
For white?
For white, it's a pop quiz.
Oh,
It's very typical Tsuji to Sabaki at this point. Sorry, I put you on the spot.
No. Is it the N16?
Oh, close. It's N17. The attach right here.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. So this is a common mistake because it feels pretty good after
Right.
Atari helped the whole group to get out, but eventually white still have to come back and then fix
I
the
see.
cutting point. But without this Atari, white can attach here first, and then if black extends here instead of Atari this way, white will Atari and push through this way. So it will make black into a broken shape.
That's, yeah.
Yeah, for all of the audience, you guys need to remember this shape, okay? Next time, pop quiz for you guys. Okay, so black extended here. Okay, and then cut. Ooh, okay. The fight. I guess the fight starts from this point. The extend here.
If white doesn't want to fight, is there any way to resolve this without the fight?
At this point, probably it's not the choice of white. It's the choice of black can choose. If black doesn't want to attack the whole group, black could extend, and then just sacrifice the stone. That's one way to have to continue peaceful style. But once the extend here starts and then push and cut, white cannot sacrifice the 3 stones
Right.
and easily
Yeah.
just give up. Yeah, so white will have to Atari, and then the ladder. Actually, yeah, the ladder must work for white in this situation. Okay, extend. All right. Yeah, this is sente because there's a net. Okay, and Oh, okay. So this is also Sente, because if white nets here, black has a 3 liberties, and white only has a 3, and black goes first. So the top group will get captured by black first. Yeah, that's why white has to descend and jump. Block. Oh, this is good move. Because after this, black is forced to live in the 3-point. Because the block doesn't work. White can cut through, then there are 2 cutting points. Okay, and then the reason why white doesn't make that exchange move, because that's always a white Sente. So white can save for maybe co-threat and then later. All right, that's the game. Attach. Oh, yes, very attempting to play that move, I guess. Well, white was trying to save that as a co-threat. But when white see this move is taken by black, probably he started regretting, I should have done that before, like played that move Sente before. That's very big move. Not only just because the territory, but also white is leaving a back door open for connecting. So those 4 stones are now very strong. Yeah. Feels in this situation is a double Sente, because when black cut through here, the stone is dead, and then black get a lot of points in the corner. The 4 stones on the outside are getting weaker. I'm not sure. Well, I guess black is too willing to play that move, but the cutting point is still very important. I think a black should still. Well, he got his point. So if black starts doing this, and a white will jump in the center, and this group will getting weaker, so black won't have time to play that move. Okay, yeah. So this is the timing for if black really want to take that move. This is the timing to do it. Okay, and then the stone got cut off, and this is the game. Okay. I'm not sure if I think a black should have seen this move. Yeah.
Do you think black thinks other bigger points on the board to play?
Well, if we compare the value of these 2 moves, it's really hard to say how much territory this move will have. But this is the killing move, and that the whole group is dead. Yeah. So a normal bend 4 is already a live shape, but this is called I like to call it incomplete bend 4, because there's a cutting point at the J17, and when you guys see a cutting point in already a live shape, then you have to be careful, because sometimes like a rectangular 6 normally is already a live shape, but with a cutting point, the situation might be different. Yeah, so this is one of the examples when the bend 4 has a cutting point, and the white actually can threaten the eye from the outside and make J19 as salvatore. I think black, most likely black didn't see that move. Otherwise, he will fix that. It's too big. 20, 10, 20, 2, 4, and 6 points.
I'm not sure if that was a losing move, but I think black just resigned.
Oh, okay. Maybe we can quickly go to that the co-fight. So how about the third round? Let me just quickly go to the third board. Okay, so they're still playing in the end game. Okay, so we should have some time to look at the second board. Okay, this is what happened after the group got killed. White Hane cut. Okay, and then black started attaching here. Okay, and then I think at this point, black probably feels a little behind because he lost this whole group, and then he
I
wanted
see.
to make the game more complicated.
Do you think it was just a blunder to miss that point? Because it's pretty obvious.
Most likely this is a misread.
I see.
Yeah. Because if we just compare these two, how important these two moves, this move, it's really hard to say.
Right.
So the whole group was fine. There are two directions to escape, but this is just the killing point. If Wade got that move, then the whole group is dead. Okay. All right. So Wade settled this whole fight very easily. Just didn't start any fight or cutting point. Just
Right.
let the black live on the site. So I was actually thinking about. I don't know if the Hane works. So that's my first instincts. Okay, but if white is already connected, I think that this area should be bigger than the right. Okay. Okay, so they had a trade. Black lived on the right, and then black had 2 stones in the center. And a white could have killed those 2 stones. Just by looking at the game, after this group is killed, white should be leading in territory right now. Okay, and then let's go to that Yeah, so
Right.
this cutting point is very big. I think white should play additional move to save the 2 stones, and then these 2 stones are also dead. Okay. Okay. All right. Is that necessary? Okay. So white played a kick, and then black peeped. I think it's okay. Just connect. Is there anything? Okay, is black looking for this move? Well, we probably won't have enough time to read through everything here, but instinctively, my instinct just tells me it's not necessary to focus on this area, because even though all the 4 stones are dead, the corner is alive, and then these 2 stones are much bigger than the 4 stones here. If white plays additional stone here, and black really needs to respond immediately, otherwise the whole group will be dead.
I see.
And then there's a lot of escaping area here, like Kasumi, and even later on, white can use the tiger's mouth or Tara here first. If black needs to respond, and those 3 stones are still in danger. Okay, let's just quickly. But I'm sure the players must already read everything, otherwise they won't play this variation. Okay, right. So eventually, those 4 stones are still dead, and then black has a cutting point on the top. Okay. Is there a cutting? Oh. Right. Okay. So black can also cut here. Those 5 stones are dead. If we compare this to final fighting situation and at the beginning of the fight, what did a white get? Saved those 2
Right.
stones. That's it. And then the bottom group is dead. This group is also dead. So it's not worth it to start the fight.
Right. Seems like black has recovered a bit of this.
Yeah, at least a little bit, because white didn't gain anything just by having the fight here. Okay, I don't know if the 2 players were in a Byoyomi time. because it seems they're playing some forcing moves here to get more time.
I see. They still, I think they have plenty of time when
Oh,
Black
okay.
resigned.
Okay. Okay, this is the co-fight that we stopped. Okay, and Black Atari and capture back. White Atari here on its co-threat. Connect. Okay. Yeah, so this is scented. There's a cutting point here. So white has to find a co-thread Atari. Okay, so I guess black wouldn't, respond to that co-thread, sorry. And extend, keep fighting the co. Ooh. That's a blind co-thread? What? Okay. Here. What is going on? Left the corner. Okay, so this is a false co-thread. Oh no. Then that's so it was still pretty complicated because both players are fighting the co, but in the middle of the co-fight, black seems just to pass the stone. That's the move. Yeah. Then there's no way. If the dragon is still alive and then co-ended by white, then there's no way for black to win because the co will kill the entire group.
Right.
Okay. Okay, this is, oh, yes, okay. Right, that's where black resigned because this is the misread he has. Okay, there's no way to kill it. Okay, let's go back to the board 3 quickly and see what is happening here.
I think they're in Biyomi.
Yeah, okay, show. Okay, so let's go back to the move that I was stopped. Oh, it's end game skill, which is the hardest part and my weakest part. Yeah.
So do you prefer to play really aggressive games so you don't have to play in game?
Well, there's no way you can avoid that. You can avoid the end game. Yeah, I'm maybe it's because I'm more like a fighting style, and then for pretty much every single player, we can be perfect for any stage. There are always a 3-stage: opening, mid game, and end game. Some people are very good at the end game and the mid game, but for me, my weakest stage is the end game. Yeah, I recently played a Wu Qingren International Tournament, and then this is my first time to win the first game in the international tournament.
Oh wow, congrats.
And at the second round, thank you. And I played the Korean pro who has won the first Wu Qingren Cup. At the beginning, I did terribly, and after I reviewed the game with my friend told me you dropped to 10% winning rate.
Oh wow.
And then I caught up late. I caught up in the mid game, and again she did some slow moves, maybe some misread mistakes, and I caught up to 60, 70. And then at that time, I feel very excited because this is the first time I get so close to the world champion. And then she's a 6 dan or 8 dan, very, very, very strong. I thought I'm gonna win, and I played some chicken moves, and then and then my winning rate dropped down, and eventually I lost. Very sad.
Oh, wow. So like many chances for one to recover or lose the game.
Yeah. Okay, so that's why the end game is very important. Even though I played some chicken moves, the game is still pretty even, 50-50. In some points, I was still leading. But she's very good at the end game. And then, I lost eventually. But it was a good game. It's very memorable. Okay, after the peep, And also during the end game, your heartbeat will become even faster because that's closer to the end
Right.
in a very close stage.
Right. And
close
usually
game.
you're in Biomi too, as is
Mm.
with our 2 players here.
Yeah. Okay. So Wei eventually got all the territory on the top, and then Black started the Sente. Okay. Tari. Connect here. Okay, these are all the forcing moves. I think the end game in this game is not that complicated because big end game moves are pretty much all played during the game during the mid game. So the rest are like just the forcing moves as single sente. Okay. Do we have a result?
I think they're not finished yet.
They're not finished yet? Okay. Okay, this is the game. Let me do the counting again.
It seems like pretty close to.
Yeah, to the end. 6 point. Okay, so Black has a 75 points on the board. And then wait. Ooh, 69, 70. I'm not sure if this is the capture stone. Or we can just do, so White has 3 captured. 1, 2, oh no, this is not. So these 2 are captured. So then there's additional one. If it's a 70, I said 75 for Black?
I think so.
75. Oh, wow. It's going to be very close. Okay, so let's, we're almost done.
Right.
So the rest of the games are pretty much just the small end game moves. Okay, 1 point. Center. Okay. No more.
Sorry, how often do you count during your game?
Pretty much every 20 moves. And I also suggest all the players from all levels, even though maybe at the beginning it's very hard to estimate, but try from the beginning to count so that you will have a better idea whether you're winning or losing, and it will help you improve the whole board thinking skill.
I see.
Especially for like the 10 level players, count as many times as you can.
Right. I see. I imagine during like a big fight, you won't count every move since it's surrounding that.
Yeah, there is some stage that we should always count. First, before you try to do like an invasion, or after invasion, because the fight just settled. Because now you have to make a new decision whether you need to keep invading or just start the end game and win.
Right.
Yeah. And then sometimes during after the fight, like and you mentioned the dragon, right? If you have a very big trade, that's the moment you should always count. And also after the co-fight, yeah. Okay. And sometimes I received questions that players said, "Oh, would I count this part? Do I have to recount again?" Because there are a lot of points, and after many moves are played, then the situation will be changed. And do I have to count it over and over again? And especially during the Biomi time, but actually not. So, for example, if one corner, one side is already settled, only difference is maybe 1 or 2 points, but you can just estimate. It doesn't have to be exact the number.
Right.
As long as you have the idea, like, oh, you have around 50 points, your opponent has 40, you're winning a little bit, and then it will help you to make a more accurate judgment.
That makes sense.
Okay, so I think they're in the dummy position. Oh, there's one ko there. Oh, 2 kos. So everyone will get 1 ko. All right, they're pretty much done.
Right. I think there is an
Mm.
estimation score on review. Is there any?
Is that accurate?
Yeah, right.
I always recommend my students and then remind them never use the estimate because somehow they're not accurate. I don't know what method they're counting.
Yes, you need to count. You need to know how to count.
Yeah. And yeah. But I guess we can maybe try it and see how accurate the
Right. I guess. That's
Okay, I already count the board. Yeah. Okay, so they changed a little bit. I don't know the captured stones, but I can do it one more time. 10. 36 there. 40. 50. 55. 60. 65. Okay. Sorry. Okay, I have to do it. again. 36, 40, 50, 55, 60, 65, 65, 65, 71 plus 3, 74 for black. And then for white,
65 plus 7.5, 72.5.
$64 plus 68. 68 versus, how many did I say?
75.
Oh, no.
Oh, they both pass, so we will know. And
But I want to see whether my counting is correct or not. Okay, anyways. I remember I said 74.
oh, maybe it's 74. I must have-
68 versus 74? Okay.
I guess we'll know in a few seconds.
I think if based on my counting, white is winning by 1.5 points. six-
oh,
74 versus 68 on six
So-
points difference than a 1.5 points.
okay. So one
Is
of
that
our-
correct?
I mean,
Yes.
the math is right. I don't know. if that's
Oh,
correct.
I thought the
Right. I think one commentator says AI tell us white lead by 1.5 points. So your
Big
counting
thumbs
is
up.
on point.
Okay. Let's wait.
They're counting it.
Oof. In front of all of the audience.
Is Albert Yan your student?
Oh no, he's not.
I'll go check.
Um,
this one. I'll go check.
But we're okay. Yes.
Yeah, you should definitely ask him why he didn't do the cut that you read out.
Yeah, on the cut around here earlier. Oh, I can. He's not my student, but we do. We know each other a long time ago because we attend a lot of US.
What did you say? What did you count?
1.5 points per weight.
You were after by 1 point. Okay, point.
Halfway because of the pass. So I'm still
Oh, I
right.
see.
Yes, of course you're right.
There
So
went by.
white won by
Oh.
0.5 point.
So
Wow,
who played the
that's
last move? White, black played the last move. So white passed at the end. So that's why black get additional point. Oh yeah!
Yeah, that's really
Oh.
accurate.
Woo, see?
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
So I think tomorrow will be your exhibition match between Ryan Lee and Kim Jae-suk. Do you know these players?
They somehow. Oh, I know. Of course, I look at a lot of Kim Jong sorry,
Kim Jisoo?
Kim Jong Sok games because he's very very famous, and then they started chatting yesterday and last night. They become
Oh.
best friends.
Oh my God.
It's good.
Oh, that's,
Yeah.
that's amazing.
That's very lovely.
Right. So
Mm.
tomorrow at 1 p.m. will be the game between Ryan Lee and Jisoo Kim.
Mhm.
Ryan Lee is your husband.
Yeah. Good luck.
Yeah. Right. So tune back in tomorrow at 9 a.m. for round 2 with In Sung Hwang on the Masters. And this has been me, Kat Mai, with Stephanie Yin.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you too.